today we're putting a computer into the F30. Some of you might be saying, like, a computer for what? Well, for tuning, that's why. So that way we can tune whenever we want, however we want, data log. This is all tied to boot mode. So let's go back inside and I'll show you guys what the mailman brought me today. I'm just excited to get this done. So as many of you know who have boot mode, or if you've looked at getting boot mode, you need a laptop in the car in order to actually tune the BMW. Otherwise, you have to buy their Wi-Fi device or Bluetooth device. I'm not really sure what it's categorized as. That's a pretty penny as well. So this is more designed for those of you who want to still get that ability to tune your car without having to have a laptop. And the good thing is this is going to be permanently in the car. So there's never any need to take the device out. You can update the agent over your phone. It's perfect, guys. And all in all, this cost me $40. If you're looking at doing this, it's pretty straightforward. I've never done it before, so we're gonna learn together. Let's go ahead and see what the mailman brought us. For starters, you're gonna need, this is a micro USB cable. I think it's either a 6-foot or a 5-foot cable. We'll jump into that when we get in the car, but it's just USB on one side, micro USB on the other side. And you're gonna want it long enough that way you can actually reach where you're planning on mounting this device. We also got a case for the device itself. I'm pretty sure this is mandatory. It's basically, without it, it's just a motherboard, and I don't know if you really want to just kind of have a motherboard sitting in your car somewhere, so this case was like $5-6, definitely worth it. A SD card or a micro SD card. That's gonna basically give us the memory to put the boot mode agent onto the device, so definitely a must-have. And I'll have links down below in the description to all of these things, so if you guys want to pick it up and do this yourself, definitely doable. It's all on Amazon, so yeah. And lastly, this is the Raspberry Pi. This is what we're actually going to be using. This is the motherboard. This is the computer. So let's go ahead and just open this up, actually. For the record, this only works, and I will link you guys the correct one. So it says Raspberry Pi 3 Model B. Make sure you guys get Model B and not Model B Plus. This only works with Raspberry Pi 3 Model B, so make sure you get that one. Oh yeah, let's see what it looks like. So here in this nice wrapping, we have the computer itself. That is it. Pretty straightforward. This is where we're gonna basically plug in the OBD agent. There's a little power micro USB right here, but it's not gonna focus for me. We'll get into that. Go ahead and break open this SD card. Pretty straightforward. If any of you guys are new to SD cards, it's very simple. You have a regular SD card and you have a micro SD card. And a regular SD card is gonna be shaped and sized to about that. And your micro SD is gonna be that big. It's much smaller, but this actually slides into the regular size. This is actually an adapter, so just put the micro SD card into the adapter and then plug it into your computer. So from here, go into this video's description, and under helpful links, you'll see 2 links. The first one, click on that, and it's going to bring you to this page. It's a boot mode page, and on here you'll find the Dropbox for the download itself. So go ahead and click that, and then from here you just want to hit download, direct download. Next, we can go over and go to the second link in the video under helpful links down below, and it's going to bring you to this website for Balena Etcher. You want to scroll down here to download for whatever your operating system is. So if you're on Windows, I'm on Mac. I guess if you're on Linux, that's kind of odd, but hey, each to their own. Just make sure you get the appropriate one. Once both of these files have finished downloading, just go to one of them and click the drop down, and then hit Show in Finder. Now you'll notice these 2 are up here, so we have the BM3 Wi-Fi download as well as the Balena Etcher download. So I'm going to go ahead and select both of those and just drag them to the desktop. We have the Balena Etcher app and the boot mode agent. First things first, what we want to do is if you double click and open that, the boot mode agent, it's going to go ahead and start to unzip this file. I believe you may need a different program if you're running this on Windows in order to unzip it. You should see here it's expanding. This is going to take a little bit. So in the meantime, we can go ahead and hit the Balena Etcher. So you should see this window pop up or something similar. Just go ahead and click this Balena Etcher application, and that should actually install and open up the application itself. This is where we're actually going to put the file for the boot mode agent. This is actually already selected my SD card, so we don't need to change that. Now we should see this file here. This is the unzipped boot mode file, so we can go ahead and just get rid of the old one. Now we have the applications all set up. Next, you want to go ahead and hit select image, and then from here you want to make sure you're on desktop, which we are, and then you're going to go ahead and hit this piece, which is
the same as this one here. So go ahead and open that. And again, it's already selected the SD card, so we're all set there. All we have to do now is hit flash. And this process should take anywhere from 10 to even 15 minutes, depending on how fast your computer is. Okay, so now that it's finished verifying, it's unmounting, and we are all set. Flash complete, and as you'll see up here, it actually already ejected the SD card. It's okay now to pull the SD card out, and we can go ahead and just close out of this.
Let's go ahead and prep the motherboard. We can start by putting the case and heat sinks on that it came with. Gives you a screwdriver as well. Here's what the case looks like. It's pretty much a replica of what you would buy from the boot mode guys themselves, so it does look and function about exactly the same. So you can just pry that apart. You'll find the screws inside, hence the tiny screwdriver. Next, you want to take the motherboard and place it into the case. You should feel it kind of set into place. Mine is screwed up. Check this out, guys. This little like notch right here, I don't know if you can see that too well, but this notch, it looks like it's not supposed to be there, and just they didn't finish sanding it off, so it actually doesn't sit perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and shave it off and see if we can get this to sit a little bit better. Okay, cool. So hopefully that picks that up. I just had to shave off this little part right here, and now this thing should probably sit a lot better. There we go. I just had to click it into place. That was kind of a pain. And then we can go ahead and set this little thing here for exhaust, I believe. And that just sits on the end, and then you take the cover itself, and it should just click into place like that. And then if you flip it over, oh wait, I almost forgot. Before you go ahead and put the cover on, the case comes with some heat sinks, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those on there. Look at me go, working on motherboards like an engineer. So this is how it should look. Now we can go ahead and take our cover and put that right on top. Now we can flip it over, and you'll notice these 4 holes, which is where these 4 screws are gonna go, and you're gonna use this tiny little screwdriver to put it in. So with all 4 screws in here, it looks like a put together little computer, and now you can see we've got USB ports, the Ethernet port, which is what the OBD side is, or the opposite of the OBD connector is gonna hook up to. On this side, you have, I believe that's HDMI, maybe auxiliary port, and then here you have the power adapter, which is why we got this micro USB. So it's gonna fit into this unit here, and then we're gonna plug it in somewhere on the car. Time to turn this thing into a mobile tuning beast. Here's what I've got. The device itself, some scissors and Velcro, I'll show you what that's for later, the SD card, and our charging cable or power cable. I know a couple F30 guys have already done this type of install before, and they typically put it in the center console. There's a USB port in there that you can use to power the motherboard, but unfortunately, I use that to hook up my phone to play music because I have the dumb F30, the dumbed down version that doesn't have the comm box, so I don't have wireless audio. So I can't use that USB port to power it, otherwise I'd never be able to listen to music in my car. If you guys remember when I installed the LED lights that went under every footwell, I actually ended up finding this power outlet here, which I didn't know existed, and this little jack here actually has 2 ports on it, so I'm gonna end up plugging it into that. And the cool thing about that one too is that it's only on when the car is on and for about 10 minutes after you shut the car off. So once the car's off, the device, the computer is not gonna be on all the time, which it doesn't need to be, so that actually works perfectly. Also, if you guys have never done any tuning, if you go underneath like the steering wheel and go under here, you're gonna notice this port right here. That's your OBD hookup. What my plan is to do is hook the OBD in and bring the wiring up into here, and this really dust covered thing, you guys probably can't see that too well, maybe you can. There's this flat piece of plastic here behind this panel that I took off, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the double-sided Velcro to actually mount the computer right there. And I think that will be a pretty good spot because it's just easy access. If I ever need to get to it, I just pull this panel off. You're also gonna need one of these. If you don't already have one, I'll have a link down below, but this is what I was talking about. Plug that into your OBD. This side goes into the motherboard. So for starters, we're gonna take the Raspberry Pi. On this side, you'll notice this little hole right here. You're gonna basically take your SD card, you take the adapter and pull the small SD card out that now has that boot mode agent installed on it, and you're gonna go ahead and plug it into here. Next, I'm gonna take this power cord, unbox it, and get it wired from what I was talking about earlier, and try and wire it somewhere over here and then into this. That's gonna be the biggest challenge, but I'm up for it. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Actually, real quick, here's what I'm talking about. So on one side, you have the micro USB, which is gonna plug into the Raspberry Pi, and on the other side, you have your regular USB, which is gonna plug into that cigarette adapter. A little tip, park your car in the shade because it is so hot. Here's where I'm at. So I've got it plugged in and it runs right up this side piece here, which you can kind of just peel back. It's not too difficult. What you wanna do is actually take out this center piece here. All you need to do is actually just pull it. It might be useful to use maybe some trim tools, but you can just pull it right out. You're gonna want to take the USB end that's plugged in, put it in your hand and put your hand way back here and try and reach down and push it as far as you can down the sidewall. Meanwhile, you gotta stick your other hand up into here and try and catch it so you can pull it through and plug it in. And that's basically how I'm gonna get it to go from this side into the footwell. So now you can see we have the cord here next to all my other freaking LED cords that I still need to rewire. But that's beside the point. So now all we have to do is get this cord up into here so that way we can plug it in. Process update. I've taken out the two 10 mil bolts that are holding up this piece of plastic right here underneath by the pedals. So once that's loose, now I can go ahead and take this power wire and I'm just gonna basically run it right here along underneath these tabs. And then I'm gonna try and run it back up into this area here, and then we should be good to button this back up and then finally power on the Raspberry Pi, which will sit right there. Power cable is ran from that side over here. Now it shoots out right here, which is exactly where we want it. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the OBD side, plug it into that port I showed you before, and then there's actually enough room back here to push the side that we need up into this little area. I am dying in this car right now. It is so hot. We're almost done though. So now we're basically ready to plug this thing in. I'm gonna use this double-sided Velcro, cut a piece to put on the underside of this, and then the opposite piece will go and stick onto that black piece of plastic that I showed you before. That will keep it from moving around and still be removable. It's not like double-sided tape where if I need to remove it, I still have the ability to do that. The boot mode device is in there, and the cool thing is I can just reach in under a good amount of pressure, but we can just pull it out at any time because of the Velcro on the back. The sun is like straight up blaring right down, and I have a black interior, so I apologize for all the contrast. It's probably been pretty tough to see it. So if you guys have any questions at any point, or if I did a crappy job of explaining anything, just let me know down in the comments and I can try and re-explain it, make it sound better, and hopefully answer your questions. But I think we're pretty much ready to go. So all that's left to do is plug in the Raspberry Pi, and I think then we can start tuning. Everything is plugged in, so we can go ahead and pop this back in, which is real pain. If you guys have ever taken this piece out, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Now we're put back together. Holy cow, that was hard to do. But we are all set, ready to tune. All right guys, so go to your settings on your iPhone, and what you first want to do is go to your general settings and hit about. And under name, make sure that you have it set to boot mode. No capital letters, BOOTMOD, and the number 3. Make sure you save that. Next, you want to go back to your settings, go to personal hotspot, and then make sure the password for that is also the same thing. No uppercase letters, just BOOTMOD3, and hit done. And then we should be able to turn on the hotspot. And then you want to hop over to the boot mode app, hit sign in. Okay, so once you are all set and connected, you're going to want to wait until this OBD agent is set up and says OBD agent detected. Oh man, I'm tired of sitting in this hot car. So here's where we're at. I went inside and I revamped the SD card with the file that we need. I just tried cleaning it and then rewriting it because the new Raspberry Pi, even though it's powered up and looks like it's running perfectly fine, the Wi-Fi never wants to connect to my hotspot on my phone. And I read on the forums that that is an issue for a lot of guys with iPhones, that Android has a much easier time connecting. So I guess what we can do is still use this device, but I'm gonna go ahead and basically plug in my phone and use the USB Wi-Fi tethering instead of Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever it is. So I'm gonna actually connect this to the device itself. There's 4 on here. I don't think it matters which one. So I'm just gonna plug that in there. Then it's gonna ask, trust the computer. Yeah, we'll trust this thing. Put in our password. And now if I go back here to settings, oh, now we're connected. 2 connections. What? This is so confusing, bro. So confusing. Okay, what if I unplug it? 1 connection. Yo, are we connected? It might be connected, boys. Let's disconnect this. It says we're connected. Open up boot mode. Still says OBD agent not detected. All right, it's still not saying it's connected, so I'm gonna close out of that, plug this back in, and we're just gonna try using the USB tethering. Update again. So what I figured out, I was literally about to quit this and just save it for another day, because Jen and I are going camping and like, we're supposed to leave any minute now. So when I had it connected to the USB tethering for Wi-Fi, it was also somehow pairing Bluetooth still, so I had to disconnect the Wi-Fi on my iPhone, turn it back on, and turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so that way it's just USB tethering. But check this out. OBD is connected, boys, and the car is ready to go. I've got my seatbelt on, so let's just go ahead and tune this thing, man, because this is crazy. This is taking way longer than it should. So if I jump over to my maps, we can go down to, this is my last flash, and we'll just go ahead and change something real quick. Shoot that up, shoot that down, and I think that should be fine. So we'll go ahead and scroll down and hit save. Save successful. All right, now we have all of our maps. Let's go ahead and flash this one. Hit flash, press here to flash now, flash. Sorry for the confusion, guys. This is my first time doing anything like this, so I'm like learning as I go. For now, I'm just gonna use the USB tethering, so I still don't need a laptop, but I'm gonna have to continue to work on the whole Wi-Fi connectivity thing, because I really want that to work, so that way I don't have to have the phone actually plugged in. There we go, boys. We are officially tuning via nothing but my cell phone and this Raspberry Pi. Look at that thing, just zipping through. Let's go. Finishing up. So you should see all these errors go away here. All right, flash successful. Please wait 5 seconds, then start the car. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000. Yes. That's just so cool that I can now tune this car without having to have my laptop. All I need is my cell phone and the Raspberry Pi, which is gonna stay in the car now. So that's cool. And check this out too. If you have your phone mounted somewhere cool, you know, just pretend it's mounted somewhere cool, we can go back up here to dashboard, and now you have your gauges too. So what I want to do is eventually mount my phone right here, so that way I have my gauges accessible and everything's just as it is. This is so cool, so badass.
All right, so it's been a couple days now. I didn't get a chance to end the vlog the other day because, like I said, Jen and I were going camping and I ran out of time. I didn't have any time to do anything more, so that was pretty much it. We did finish the install. We were able to successfully flash. Expect issues with Wi-Fi connectivity if you're on iPhone. Android users haven't heard of any issues, so if you guys have an iPhone and have figured out how to fix the Wi-Fi connectivity problem, please let me know and put it down in the comments, because right now I'm gonna have to continue to use the USB cord to actually tether the Wi-Fi. I'm still tuning the car without a laptop, which was the whole goal. Hope this helped you out. Head to the website if you want to support the channel, pick up some merch. I do have the navy tees still in stock. I have the Cardinal hoodies, a few very limited of the sand hoodies left, so make sure you guys go check it out if you want to pick one up before they're gone. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace.